Where are you evaluating the Big 12 right now? Because obviously Oklahoma kind of had another close home win against West Virginia. They beat them by 3, but they're 4-0. Baylor's 4-0. Oak State's 4-0. All of them are undefeated in the Big 12. Texas has the loss to Arkansas, but it's 3-1 and it's 1-0 in the Big 12. Like, who's the second best team in this conference right now? Hell, who's the best team? Because are you 100% convinced Oklahoma is the best team in the Big 12?
No, I'm really not convinced Oklahoma's the best team in the Big 12. I think it probably is, but like, would you take Oklahoma over the field right now? For maybe,
I mean,
probably, like the odds say yes, but I wrote in my column last week. I bet Oklahoma minus 165 for the league to start the year. Now the market price currently is like minus two and a quarter, which suggests that they're better against the rest of the league, as you know, than they were in the preseason. But man, after watching them tonight, I don't know if I really buy that. They're not. First of all, Rattler. Second of all, they're not real physical up front right now. Like, they don't really move people in the run game, and I think because people are less concerned about their ability to run the ball, they do not have to worry about some of the play action stuff quite as much. They can play some of the RPO stuff a little bit differently, and it does make them less effective. I know they were making all kinds of excuses for Rattler on the broadcast, and some of those I thought were maybe unjustified, but some of them I think were, right? Like, that Oklahoma offensive line is not the typical Bill Biedenbaugh unit that we have seen in recent years.
Yeah, there's just a lot. Like, Marvin Mims is getting over 20 yards per catch, I still think, on the season, but like, that's really their only explosive aspect of their offense, and it really just hasn't been there very much. I feel like teams are just kind of dropping 8 against them, and Oklahoma hasn't really done much against it. But maybe this is bad timing to ask the question, seeing as how Texas just scored 70 points today. But does Oklahoma even have the best offense in the Big 12 anymore?
Not so far this year. I mean, you can argue Texas. Although, look, Texas got totally shut down against Arkansas, and I'm sure you'd counter that and say, well, hey, that was Hudson Card, and now we have Casey Thompson, and Thompson played well today. Texas Tech's defense might be pretty bad, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's definitely playing a role here. But Casey Thompson was 18-3, 303 yards, 5 touchdowns. He did have an interception. Bijan Robinson rushed for 137. He also had 54 yards receiving, and I think it was a 38-yard touchdown on one of them. So I don't know, man. Like, that, the way when I was watching Texas today, my biggest takeaway was if they play like that, they'll beat Oklahoma. They could win the Big 12. And I feel like after the way they looked in that Arkansas game, that is not something I thought I would be thinking again this time this season. But thankfully, I'm at least smart enough not to go the Texas's back route.
I mean, that league right now is so kind of topsy-turvy. TCU lost at home to SMU. I think TCU, by the way, has an explosive plays problem on defense. Like, they came back to beat Cal. They out-physicaled Cal. Zach Evans went nuts. But TCU just gives up home run balls to SMU to start the game again. Like, what? How does this happen every game for TCU? Just, there's an 80-yarder again. That's pretty wild.